everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting a new project and I am making an apron for a maid's outfit 1800s. So I have this nice, it was a curtain. It's kind of a sheer fabric with a pattern in it. I've undone all the seams all around the curtain. And my thinking for this is I'm going to have a, not quite a full triangle, it won't come to a point, but a triangle shape here with strips that go all the way and crisscross in the back with a ruffle all the way around it. And then there'll be the band for the waistband. I'm going to have it's going to be tiny in the front and then go wide in the back for a bigger bow. And then there'll be a ruffle all along this and then all along the skirt. So to start with, I'm going to cut some ruffle strips out. I don't know how much ruffle I'll need, or cut the length of the curtain 4-inch strips 3 times. So I already have it folded quite a bit to make it fit on my mat here. So I'm going to go 4 inches wide, and this is doubled at this point. This is still doubled. So I'm going to do 3 of these because that should come close to getting all the ruffle that I need. So I'm going to cut 3 at 4 inches. And this is sheer enough fabric that I can put it on my ruffler and it'll gather really, or my gathering foot, and it'll gather really easy. And I'll just hem up the other side. I'll probably do a serge and then hem to make it easy. Okay, so those are that. And then I need I'm not sure how to cut that one. I'm going to need the strips here that the ruffle will attach to. And I'm thinking I want that to be about 2 inches wide, folded 2 inches. So I need to cut it at least 5 inches wide. So once it's folded and everything, it'll be just 2 inches. So that's that strip. I said that. These are the ruffles. I set everything separately so I know where everything is. Right now I want to cut the waistband and the tie wide. I have this all folded. I just don't know how it's going to be wide and then narrower here. I just don't know how wide to make it. There again, I'll probably fold it in. Will I fold it in half? So if I fold it in half, say I want it 4 inches in the back, but folded in half would be 8 inches. So I need to measure a strip 8 inches, and then I'll taper it in at the waistband. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure that's how I want it. I'm going to go 8.5 so I have seam allowance. Okay, so then that's the waistband. So I have the strips for here, the ruffle here, and the waistband cut out. So the next things I need cut out are want to fold. So I'm going to cut this on the fold. Let's do my mannequin over here so you can see. So she's a small girl. I got to pull up her measurements, but she's right there. So I'm going to say, just by using this mannequin, I want that piece there to be 15 inches. 15 inches. And then what's half of 15 inches is an 8.5 foot fold. 8.5 foot, 8.5 inches. I don't know why I said foot. 8.5 inch. That's still too big. Keep coming. Still not quite small enough. Come on, let's go. Fold, fold. Okay, not quite 8.5, but we'll go with that. So I folded it to be 8.5 inches roughly. I want my curved how long do I want it to be? Let's say 15 inches. Okay, I have my circle. I took my mat away and I probably could really use my mat. So that makes the easiest way to cut this. So let's go back to find that 15 again. So there's the skirt, and it's just a short one, though that's not very good round edge. It's just for a short one because the ruffle will be all the way around it, and then the waistband. So I think that's the right size for that. And then we're just going to cut so I have all this extra to do something else with at another time. And I am going to make her a hat out of it, I think. A hat of some sort. So then this needs to be probably, let's guess, 6 down to 3. So we're going to keep it folded. Keep it folded. And that will roughly be the square could probably taper it in just a little bit more. How long do we want it? We just want it to go from there to, so 7.5 inches. So let's cut off 7.5 inches. Oops, not a very straight line. Fold it in half. That's the piece. It's like, she's very tiny, so I'm hoping it fits her nice. But once you get the band on, it'll go wider and all of that. So for starters, I'm going to take my ruffle strips, run them one side through the serger, and then I'm going to hem it up in my sewing machine. I have to change the thread in my sewing machine. Oh, don't lose that piece. I have all the ruffles hemmed on one side and gathered with my gathering foot. I'm gonna start with the skirt. I'm gonna find the center of this. I need my pins. Because if the ruffle doesn't hit quite at the two top seams, I'm fine. I just want it to be the same all the way around. Okay, and then I want right sides together. I decided with this, I'm going to go ahead and just serge this right as it is. Normally I wouldn't do that. Normally I would go ahead and sew and then serge, but where this is so sheer, and we're going to see possibly everything. I'd rather not do that many seams or sew it that many times, if that makes sense. And so I'm making sure I'm putting my pins in a long way so that when I'm serging, I will catch them before they go through my serger. Because I don't want the pins to get caught in my cutting blade. So I'll finish pinning that in a minute. The other thing I want to show you is I'm trying to figure out how to do these straps. I think I just did them wrong, but that's going to be each strap. And I decided I'll probably top stitch this down. So I'll probably do a small roll, and then top stitch this onto the straps. So for these straps, I'm going to go ahead and sandwich them together with the ruffle in between. And then turn it right side out. And then the ruffle will be there and ready. And then I don't have to finish these straps again. And then I can just top stitch this down to it. So I will get all this ruffle stuff pinned and sewn. And then I'll see where I'm at, what time it is. I have to get dinner going before I leave. And Kaylee and I have been starving the past 2 days, or a few times with play practice, so I'm like, we need to eat something before we go, so I need to have something for us to have before we go, and then still come home and have dinner. So I'm going to get all this pinned and sewn, and I will be back either tonight or tomorrow. So here is the bottom of the apron, which will go right like that. I don't know what happened to my pins. Where's all my pins? So I'm not sure this is long enough. I am going to have, you know, the waistband, but for right now. And then here's this piece. And this is going to be sewn on right like that. So I'm going to top stitch just making sure the ruffles going the right direction. I will top stitch that down, and there's the starts of the apron, and then I just will have the waistband to do. I will try it on her to see if it's too big, if I need to take it up any, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we are going to finish up the apron today. I tried it on the character plain and it fits fine. The only thing is it kept drooping off her shoulders, so I definitely need to do a crossed back for it, and I did not leave enough length to do that. So if I were to put it on her, I'm right sides. I can't tell right sides from wrong sides. I put this at the waist, and I come to the back. There's not enough to crisscross it and then make it reach the waistband. So I'm going to add a little strip. And I think I can just, I want it to be as wide as this, so this will all be gathered in, so it'll look more like that. So I just want it to be as wide as that strap, which is 3 inches, well, so it's 2 inches wide, which would give me 4 inches plus a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So that's 5 inches. So 5 inches wide. So I have this piece here. I don't think it's cut on the grain. I think it's cut at an angle, but that's all right. There is a straight line. So we're just gonna take that straight line. What did I do with my rotary cutter? Wah, 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 wah. I had it a few minutes ago. Oh, there it is. So it's now cut. Oh, come on. Don't fall off. So I'm just going to cut, sew these down the middle and then tuck this into the one end, and then I'll hem this end, but I'm not going to turn it over and hook it until I know what the waist band is. So that's that. The apron part of it was fine lengthwise. I think adding it to the waistband, because I had it put on her just, I had it pinned on her exactly together, but I am going to have at least a what is that? A 3-inch waistband there, and then this will gather to be half her waistband. So here I have the piece for the tie. I think this should give me, if I were to pull it around, a nice bow with not too much hanging. But I don't need it this wide. This is, how wide is it? This is almost 9 inches wide, I think. Where's my one? Yeah, almost 9 inches. So I want it to be like 3 inches in the center all the way out to her waist. And then I do want it to be wider where the bow will happen. So maybe a little bit bigger of a bow. So We need to play with this just a little. We're going to fold it in half. Move that out of my way. Okay, you're a little close. We're going to fold it in half. I've written down all these measurements of what her measurement is, what half of that is, and what a quarter of that is. So, this disappears. I was just going to add a few spots. So that's the halfway point. And then we need from there, half of that is there. So I only want from here to here to be 4 inches wide, because 4 inches with a 1/2 inch turn on each end will give me the 3 inches. So trying to figure out how to do this. So fold it in half. It'll only be 2 inches. I need the dot on this side so I can see. Wash her down right there. We're on a straight line. It's coming down. We go 2 inches here. So 2 inches is right there. And we want to go 2 inches there. I think at the back we're going to have to be just a little bit more flexible at it being 2 inches back, because that's not a very good angle. Pull it on down. Make sure we're even. Even. Let's put a pin in it. That might stay better. Everything's even. Okay, took the wedge out. So in the front, once I hem that, it should be, make that a 3-inch band right there, and then bigger at the ends. But then at the ends, I should make it let's have those lines. Okay. So then this is my waistband. I'm at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it, and I'll probably serge the edges to make it easier to turn it. Then I'll turn everything, give it a nice hem, and hem this. I'm also going to hem this skirt right at the top, just to hem it up, give it an end, and then I'm going to hem the front, make that a nice hem edge. What else am I going to hem? And then I'm going to sew my two thingies together. And then I will come back and show you. Okay, so I have everything hemmed or finished seam. So the first thing I'm going to do is these pieces on the back where I want to make the loops. I'm going to here's the fabric I'm going to loop it through. I'm just going to take a bobbin, and I didn't finish this seam off because it's going to be inside, so I didn't need to worry. And take my bobbin, and I'm just going to put it through the wrong side of it and pull it all the way through. And then you're just going to gather it up to where it meets the inside of that. So if you look, it's all kind of like squished up in there. You want it to look a little bit like not too disshuffled, but you know, in there. So once it, so you want to make sure the end pieces are flat out. And then it just is all, so I'll pin where the end pieces are, and then everything else can just kind of be squished up in there. It's not going to matter how squishy. You just want to make sure those two end pieces aren't squished up funny, because they need to sit in there right. And just kind of play with it to where you don't want it to be twisted, but you don't want it to look too disheveled. And you're just going to sew it at a 3/8 seam allowance, so it's not going to really matter as long as those ends are fine. So you're going to do that to both ends. Turn this piece around because I noticed I had the ruffle in near the seam. Oh. No, the ruffled in near the center of it. So it's the same pretty much. Okay, I'm gonna go sew that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I sewed that down. So I'm just gonna pull this out. And then that's what it looks like. And there for that side. Now, it's time to put these on the waistband. So, I'm gonna mark the middle. And the easy one to do is the top. That'll be the easy one. Because I already know where the middle of the top is. And I think I'm going to have the waistband be on top of the top. So instead of, yeah, I want the waistband on top. So at the center, and then at least all the way out to the strap. And then the pleating, the ruffle, I think I want to gather up just a little. So I just took little pleats. Oh, come on. It doesn't want to stay. And let me pin it in. Yeah, it's roughly the same. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not gonna worry. Okay, so that's that. Now for the bottom, where did my purple pen go? I'm gonna mark this center, and I'm gonna mark to go to there. And there. So I'm going to take the center of this, mark it at the center mark, a lot. I need to put it right between the middle of the ruffle. And then I'm going to put two do I want to do one box pleat? Okay, let's just do one pleat. So to do this, we're just going to pin where they meet. Try to be even, so I'm going to go 4 fingers each. So I'll let you see that. So we're just gonna, see that's the pleat, bring them together, and then you're gonna open it, and then that's how the pleat will sit. So that'll just give it a little bit of shaping, being the right being at the right spot, but then really not be too, it just gives it a little shape. So I'm going to do that to the other side. This can be very tedious, putting these pins in such a tiny seam allowance. Okay, now we're going to sew that down. And then we'll do the back. Here's the apron. Isn't it cute? I think it's so cute. And then the back. So I need it to crisscross because that's how we're going to keep this from falling off the shoulders. So I have this little part that I sewed onto it. I'm just going to put it underneath this, and it's going to make a loop. And I'm going to have that be the loop. So it's a little loose, but I don't think it'll be that loose. I have threads, I got it. So that'll be, I need a pin. They'll probably try to make each loop the same. And then with all this ruffle, we might have to play with the bow to see exactly how I want the bow. But I'll make each loop the same size. And then I might do something different with the bow. So I'm going to sew those. So how I'm going to do that is I will cut it, turn it in, and then just top stitch it right along there, and then it'll be a loop. And I'll make it sure that it looks pretty where the seam is, because it doesn't look very pretty right there right now. So I'll measure them, cut them, put it all together, and I'll show you the end product. So here's the finished product. I'll hold it up so you can see. I decided with all this ruffle here, it didn't need a bow, but I still like this part of it. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you like more sewing videos. I don't always do costumes. I do so for myself and for my grandchildren and my daughter. So come and stick around and watch me sew. Thanks for watching. Bye.